This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Peter Dubois.
And I'm Beth Jones. First tonight, a Baileyville man is dead following a single vehicle crash in Princeton.
According to the Washington County Sheriff's Office, around 11 o'clock this morning, a 911 call came in from a passing motorist reporting a single vehicle crash on West Street in Princeton. Deputies and first responders arrived at the scene and found 43-year-old John Gagner of Baileyville had not survived his injuries in the crash. Police say he was alone in the 2017 Chevy Silverado pickup and was traveling north on West Street toward Route 1 in Princeton when the vehicle went off the road and hit a tree. The crash remains under investigation.
Bangor police have arrested the alleged suspect in a domestic violence stabbing. 31-year-old Stephen Hunt of Bangor has been charged with domestic violence elevated aggravated assault. Police reportedly responded to a call at 101 3rd Street for an alleged assault involving a knife. Sergeant Wade Betters of the Bangor Police Department says officers found the victim bleeding heavily on the scene. Police say Hunt initially fled that scene on foot.
Once we were able to identify him, we began the process of trying to track him down. Later on that afternoon, they were successful at doing so, and that's when we took him into custody.
Well, if you or someone you know are dealing with a domestic violence situation, Bangor police work with private organizations like Partners for Peace. That nonprofit offers access to resources to place domestic violence survivors in a safe environment. Partners for Peace can be contacted at 1-800-863-9909.
The United States Supreme Court officially made its ruling in the case of Carson versus Macon yesterday, but that hasn't changed some people's opinions on the school choice argument. Today, our Dylan Holloway got reaction from officials on both sides of that debate.
On Tuesday, the United States Supreme Court handed down its decision in Carson versus Macon. In doing so, the highest court in the land struck down a Maine law prohibiting private religious schools from receiving public funds. Some are calling this a victory for freedom, while others are saying this decision only serves to damage the barrier separating church and state.
The state of Maine, like many states around the country, has a program which allows parents to put their kids in a school of their choice. In Maine, that program is called a tuitioning program, and it applies to parents who live in parts of the state that there is no public school there.
Managing attorney for the Institute of Justice, Arif Panju, says by law, Maine did not allow parents to select religious schools as part of this program. The Institute for Justice represented families in Maine who chose to fight this law in order to get public funding for their children to attend private religious schools. However, not everyone is taking a victory lap in response to the U.S. Supreme Court's decision. Attorney General Aaron Fry expressed his disappointment with the ruling in a statement saying in part, quote, "The education provided by the schools at issue here is inimical to a public education. They promote a single religion to the exclusion of all others, refuse to admit gay and transgender children, and openly discriminate in hiring teachers and staff." He went on to say, while parents have the right to send their children to such schools, it is disturbing that the Supreme Court found that parents also have the right to force the public to pay for an education that is fundamentally at odds with values we hold dear. We asked for Panju's response to the Attorney General's statement.
I'd suggest that the AG reread the opinion. The court analyzed a provision that on its face discriminated against religion. It didn't dive into all the other things that the AG is talking about here, and it's a pretty straightforward application of the free exercise clause to a, on its face, discriminatory law.
Fry says he intends to explore statutory amendments to address the court's decision. He says he wants to ensure that public money is not used to promote, quote, discrimination, intolerance, and bigotry, end quote. Reporting in Bangor, I'm Dylan Holloway for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
Meanwhile, the Department of Justice says Maine is in violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act. The state unnecessarily segregates children with mental and developmental disabilities in psychiatric hospitals, residential treatment facilities, and state-operated juvenile detention facilities. That was the conclusion announced today by the Department of Justice. Disability Rights Maine is the protection and advocacy agency for people with disabilities in Maine. They filed a complaint with the Department of Justice office on behalf of a group of children alleging they could not get needed community-based services, resulting in their institutionalization or risk of being put in an institution. Many children in Maine, especially those in rural areas or those with more intensive needs, are unable to live at home with their families due to a lack of community-based behavioral health services. The department's investigation found a number of barriers to accessing children's behavioral health services in the community, including lengthy wait lists and inadequate crisis services.
Bangor School Department has a total of 3,468 students. Of those, 70 students are experiencing homelessness. As Sierra Jordan reports, Bangor school officials say that's unacceptable.
If a student wears the same clothes every day to school or lives in hotels, shelters, cars, or transitional housing, those could be signs that the child may be experiencing homelessness. Bangor School Department officials say they saw a significant increase of students who are in need of assistance.
Currently, we're about close to 70 students this year that have qualified.
The increase of student homelessness is the worst the Bangor School Department has seen before the pandemic started. Thanks to the McKinney-Vento Homelessness Assistance Act, the Bangor School Department is able to provide necessities to students in need, including clothing, shoes, food, hygiene products, and more.
To have to come to school in shoes that are falling off, and then you get to go to a place where you can pick out your own pair of shoes. They're extremely grateful and extremely excited.
Bannon says the social workers try to gain a family's trust so they can provide them with the resources they need.
Usually what they'll do is have a social worker or the principal have a conversation with the family and just try to gauge what the living situation is, and then they'll contact me, and then we make a determination if they qualify as homeless. So it is done in the least intrusive and most supportive way possible.
He encourages parents to reach out to the Bangor School Department if they're struggling and wants you to know you're not alone.
When they bring a kid a backpack loaded with supplies, the general reaction is just gratefulness.
In studio, I'm Sierra Jordan reporting for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
U.S. Senator Susan Collins and her husband are putting their Bangor home that has been the site of some recent protests on the market. Collins and Thomas Daffron bought the 4,250 square foot house on West Broadway in 2013, a year after they were married, and they've made a number of improvements. Now it's currently on the market with a price of $727,000. Spokesperson Annie Clark said they love the house but are looking for a home with a single level and more space for their Labrador Retriever to play.
That's always got to factor in, you know, space for the dog,
the
whatever the dog needs.
The yard
right?
is paramount. If the yard isn't good, the dog doesn't approve, it's a no-go.
That's funny. Yeah, you and I can both relate there.
We most certainly can. All right, well, let's take a look outside and get a first check of our forecast now.
All right, Beth and Peter, thank you. Happy Wednesday. Your first weather is brought to you by Scott's Recreation with offices in Turner, Manchester, Herman, and Orono. And okay, today, temperature-wise, a bit cooler, but with lots of sunshine. 68 here in Bangor, 72 Millinocket. We'll take it. Tomorrow will be about the same story, followed by even warmer temperatures this weekend. It's going to be hot this weekend. Out there now, though, lots of sunshine across the region, but there are some clouds off to the west. Those are beginning to move our direction. They'll get here later on tonight with some dense fog and some drizzle. It's going to be a drizzly night and a couple of rain showers around tomorrow as well into early parts of Friday morning. Our forecast then tonight, though, is clouding over, some fog and drizzle out there with low temperatures down in the 50s. Your full forecast is coming up. Beth and Peter?
All right.
Yeah, looks pretty good to me. And still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, U.S. Senators Susan Collins and Jeanne Shaheen hosted a press conference discussing their new Insulin Act.
And how 125 teachers will be virtually joining the University of Maine's first ever Educators Institute. All of those stories and much more as ABC 7 News at 6 continues.
Find meaningful work in behavioral health care.
As a younger person, I find that the most rewarding part of my job is the emotional gratification in seeing my clients succeed.
Learn more about compassionate careers at caringforme.org.
Feel the difference of alpaca apparel from the Blue Alpaca Ranch and Store in Belfast. Stop by their ranch location to interact with these amazing animals and enjoy the beautiful Maine outdoors with your very own alpaca walk. Shop in-store or online today and take advantage of their free nationwide shipping. With their incredible selection of socks, sweaters, hats, and more, experience the unique qualities that alpaca fiber brings with the Blue Alpaca. Feel the difference.
What's your name?
Leonard Skinnard, Big Wheels Keep on Turning Tour. July 3rd, Maine Savings Amphitheater, Bangor, Maine, with special guests, Marshall Tucker Band and the Outlaws. Leonard Skinnard, back on the road in 2022. On sale now. Buy tickets at waterfrontconcerts.com or Ticketmaster.com. Part of the Varney Insurance Concert Series. Leonard Skinnard, Big Wheels Keep on Turning Tour.
Days Jewelers is hosting a one-of-a-kind experience. It's the Great Estate Buying Event presented by Jules Estate Buyers. Join us Tuesday through Friday, June 21st through the 24th. Like roadshows you've seen on TV, your item is evaluated, an offer is made, and you are paid a fair market price on the spot. Our experts are buying diamonds, jewelry, Rolex and other fine watches, gold and platinum, sterling silver tableware, coins, paintings, autographs, and photos. Bring anything of value. No appointments necessary. Don't miss the Great Estate Buying Event presented by Jules Estate Buyers. This week only, Days Jewelers, Bangor.
As a working mom of 5, I'm feeling the burden of rising prices. But instead of getting inflation under control, the liberals in Washington are attacking America's tech innovators. Talk about being out of touch. The left's bill would take away the technology we depend on, put our personal data at risk, make China stronger and America weaker. I don't understand how any Republican senator could support this liberal nonsense. Tell Senate conservatives to stand up for American technology.
Find meaningful work in direct care, no matter where you are in life.
The difference that you make in somebody else's life is absolutely incredible.
Visit caringforme.org to learn more and make an impact through a compassionate career.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
Welcome back. Senator Susan Collins has introduced new legislation which aims to lower insulin costs. Our Matt Jurancic has more on the Insulin Act.
U.S. Senators Susan Collins and Jeanne Shaheen hosted a press conference on their new Insulin Act. It's titled Improving Needed the Safeguards for Users of Life-Saving Insulin Now, which legislation looks to lower the cost of insulin.
This bill is an effort to try and ensure that all families in America have the ability to afford their insulin.
According to the RAND Corporation, the average price of insulin as of 2018 was $98.70. Alongside the senators were American Diabetes Association's Chief Medical Officer Dr. Gaby, JDRF Chief Strategy and Medical Officer Cynthia Rice, and diabetes advocate Duncan Ryan. Throughout the conference, the speakers presented stories of families who have had and currently suffer from diabetes, sharing how they deal with the rising costs.
One father of 4 from New Gloucester, Maine, told me that he discovered one day that the cost of a 90-day supply of insulin for his 13-year-old son, who had type 1, had tripled overnight to more than $900. What he had to resort to was driving to Canada to get much lower costs.
With the rising costs of insulin, the senators are advocating for the government to step in and lower the costs.
Tens of millions of Americans rely on insulin as part of their daily treatment. For children, teens, and adults with type 1 diabetes, insulin is not optional. It is literally a matter of life and death.
Matthew Jurancic, ABC 7, Fox 22.
Even though schools across the state held the final day of classes last week, educators won't be leaving the classroom just yet. Nearly 125 teachers will be virtually joining University of Maine's first ever Educators Institute. From June 22nd to the 23rd, teachers will learn new strategies and ways to meet the needs of students by participating in different workshops. The theme of this year's event is supporting emotional and behavioral well-being in school communities, from surviving to thriving.
I think we're seeing the results of the pandemic have also been seen in classrooms in terms of lack of student engagement, behavioral issues, absenteeism, just a whole host of things that teachers regularly face, but not at the scale and not to the scope that they are facing them now.
The event includes workshops and several keynote speakers led by UMaine professors and experts from across the state and beyond.
The town of Caribou is giving its police department a new home. The decision was made after residents approved a $10 million project for a brand new police station. Besides a new facility, it would also include expanded storage space for evidence, weapons, vehicles, and new jail cells. Caribou Police Chief Michael Gahagan says the upgrade is sorely needed.
I mean, just the nature of our job now with the amount of drugs that we have to process, with the evidence that we have to hold, it is just outgraded.
The police station project is expected to cost $10 million, but it's gotten recent support from Senator Susan Collins, who's requesting $2.5 million in federal funding toward that project.
Well, staying in Caribou, the city has rejected a proposed ordinance that would have meant the city's utilities district was responsible for clearing fire hydrants in the winter. In past years, Caribou Public Works had to clean around hydrants, but with a short-staffed department this year, they were more focused on street cleaning. This prompted a proposed ordinance dictating which department was responsible for clearing hydrants and inadvertently sparked more debate.
It's really a demand charge for the city to be able to access water for fire protection within the town. So it's really important for the city, and more specifically the fire department, to be able to have access to the fire hydrants for that purpose.
Well, the issue will be the focus of the next City Council meeting, which happens June 27th at 6 p.m. at the Caribou Municipal Building. And still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, Heart of Ellsworth is hosting a free mini art festival this Saturday.
And in sports, on the eve of Title IX's 50th anniversary, 6 schools are coming together to make Northern Maine girls hockey history. That story right after the break.
The world is full of make or break moments, especially if you have postmenopausal osteoporosis and a high risk for fracture. It's time to make your move to help reduce your risk of fracture with Prolia. Only Prolia is proven to help strengthen and protect bones from fracture with one shot every 6 months.
Do not take Prolia if you have low blood calcium, are pregnant, are allergic to it, or take Xgeva. Serious allergic reactions like low blood pressure, trouble breathing, throat tightness, face, lip, or tongue swelling, rash, itching, or hives have happened. Tell your doctor about dental problems, as severe jawbone problems may happen, or new or unusual pain in your hip, groin, or thigh, as unusual thigh bone fractures have occurred. Speak to your doctor before stopping, skipping, or delaying Prolia, as spine and other bone fractures have occurred. Prolia can cause serious side effects like low blood calcium, serious infections, which could need hospitalization, skin problems, and severe bone, joint, or muscle pain.
Don't wait for a break. Call your doctor now and ask how Prolia can help you.
Sensible. What a pesky word. Makes you feel like you should want something less, and wanting it less makes you, what, more sensible? Like choosing a sensible portion. Who came up with that? The word sensible only applies to things like snow tires. It doesn't apply to ice cream. Give me a break.
Ice cream is life. Go big.
You know what's sensible? Eating all of the ice cream. That's right, all of it.
Hanks Husqvarna is your full-line Husqvarna dealer with 2 convenient locations. 32 Old State Road in Carmel and 19 Moosehead Trail in Newport. Whether it's tractors and zero turns, chainsaws to trimmers, or pressure washers to battery power, everything is set up, serviced, and ready to go by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or sales, stop in to Hanks Husqvarna, Carmel, or Newport.
Tonight's sports is brought to you by Mainly Supplements near the Bangor Mall. We provide a variety of protein, pre-workout, vitamins, and healthy snacks to fuel your body for peak performance.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, first, some big news out of Colorado, and by now you know the name. Cooper Flagg reaching yet another milestone, being named to the Team USA final roster. Flagg has been with Team USA's U17 squad for the past week or so in a pool that started with 34 players. Now, on Monday, he was named one of 18 finalists, and on Wednesday afternoon, the kid from Newport captured one of 12 spots on Team USA's final roster. That means Flagg and the rest of the team will head to Spain in a couple weeks for the FIBA World Cup. First game for that is set for July 2nd, where they'll look to defend their gold medal from the U16 Cup. So a major development for Flagg as his stock continues to rise, and now he'll be able to show off his talent on the international stage. Congratulations to him and everybody in his camp. Now we'll move on to some hockey news, even in late June, because for the first time ever, a girls' high school hockey team is coming to Northern Maine. Now, we don't have all the details yet, so we'll bring in Tyler Cruz for this one. Tyler, what do we know about the new club so far?
Yeah, Dave, you said it. Some breaking news today with 6 schools in our area making history, combining together for the first girls' high school hockey team up in this area. And as of right now, it's Brewer, Bangor, Hamden Academy, Orono, and Old Town School Boards. They're all in. And then John Baptist is able to jump in at will if any of their students are interested in playing. Now, they've got to iron out some of those details still, but what we know now is that the first girls hockey team north of Winslow is officially a go.
All right, so the team is a go. That's awesome. Huge for girls hockey players up here. So where do they go next?
Well, there is a meeting next Thursday with the girls and a few of the people who set this up, and we will know everything else then. They'll be meeting at the Penobscot Ice Arena in Brewer. That's going to be their home ice rink. There is no name yet or colors for the team. That's what they will be voting on. They'll be playing as the Penobscot something, so we'll let you know when we know. The season starts November 7th, and we'll have more for you on the story next week.
All right, great. Thank you very much, Tyler. Appreciate that. And yes, after that meeting, we will have, hopefully, a name and some colors and more information and reaction about some history here in Northern Maine. We'll end things, though, with a little bit of golf. The second annual Live and Work in Maine Open gets underway on Thursday morning at Falmouth Country Club. We've talked about it already. All eyes will be on Maine amateurs Cole Anderson of Camden and Topsom's Caleb Manuel, both getting sponsor exemptions. Both excited to tee it up against some of the top pros on the PGA's Corn Ferry Tour. Cole will tee off at 8:36 on Thursday, while Caleb goes off at 1:46. Both golfers have played at Falmouth a number of times before, which should benefit them heading into Thursday's first round.
It's really good for, me and Cole to be able to match our games against them, and we both just kind of have to, believe that, we belong out here and we can play just as good as golf as them.
So from the U.S. Open back up to Maine to the Corn Ferry Tour, we'll have full coverage of that later on in the week. For now, here's Jeff Weller with your full 5-day forecast. Jeff?
All right, Dave, thank you. Check out these high temperatures today, back in the upper 60s to low 70s, below average, but it's okay, right? That west wind across the region and lots of sunshine throughout the day today. Tomorrow, though, we have some fog on the way, some drizzle in there with high temperatures back in the 70s again. Okay, so going forward tonight, low temperatures down in the 50s. Tomorrow back up near 70 with some clouds around. Tomorrow's not going to be a perfect day around here, although there'll be lots of dry hours in there as well. Here's that wind out there now out of the south around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Got a little gusty again today. We've had wind gusts there at 25. That will continue for into the early evening hours, followed by a decrease in wind overnight tonight. It'll actually go calm for a couple hours. That will likely give us some dense fog after midnight tonight as we have a lot of moisture coming into that region. Also out there now are allergens, right? If you're sneezing or sniffling, here we go. Tree pollen in the high category, grass and weed not too far behind that. And mold is slowly creeping up there right now. It's been pretty wet, of course. That will keep growing higher and higher and higher. All right, so lots of clear skies out there right now, but that is about to change again as another system is headed our way. And we are in for a day and a half or so of some really kind of cloudy and some drizzly weather, followed by a weekend right now that looks fantastic as high pressure builds in Saturday and Sunday. It's going to feel like summer with high temperatures back in the 80s this weekend. But first, system to get through. It's kind of partially right here, partially right there. Going to combine over our region tomorrow, likely bringing us some light drizzle, some fog, and maybe a couple light rain showers in there as well, beginning late tonight and then lingering into early parts of Friday morning. Let's walk you through. So for tonight, a couple of sprinkles out there, and this is most mostly dense fog by tomorrow morning. And then throughout the day tomorrow, there goes that little low pressure system. We could see a couple showers throughout the day, followed by into tomorrow night. This is early parts of Friday as well, clearing Friday morning, and then we're off to the races. A fantastic weekend with temperatures back in the 80s. The rainfall looks like this, so not a lot of rainfall on the way, just some kind of drizzle out there tonight, some light showers tomorrow before we get maybe a couple early morning rain showers on Friday. So here we are, going forward, lots of fog in the forecast for us for tonight into tomorrow night as well. A couple of rain showers, not an all-day rain tomorrow or into Friday, and then a warm, humid weekend. Plan on going to the beach this weekend, right, with temperatures back in the 80s. Our forecast ends tonight, though, is lots of clouds out there. Some drizzle and fog is likely. Low temperatures down near 50 with a southeast breeze that could gust near 20. For tomorrow, okay, partly cloudy skies. Drizzle is possible pretty much off and on all day long. Even a couple light rain showers in there. High temperatures near 70 again, but it's going to feel cooler without the sunshine. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows that drizzle out there tomorrow. Friday, partly cloudy skies, turning partly cloudy, 77. And then Saturday, 86, mostly sunny. Sunday, 84. And then there's Monday, our next chance for rain, with a high temperature near 80. Beth?
Alrighty.
So a really sweltering weekend coming our way in the 80s. Jeff said it, get out either to the ocean, maybe to a pond, lake, and hop in.
Some obliging body of water where you can at least dip a toe in and
Exactly.
cool off. All right, well, there's still more to come after the break. Stay with us.
It wasn't just a little bit of soot on an old family photo. It wasn't just a couple of books soaked in water. And when you called Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration, you were not just another customer. That family photo hangs high yet again, and those irreplaceable first editions stay cemented in history. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration. The signs of spring are here. The sun's out for the evening commute. Whistles and clapping echo from the ball field. And the flowers bloom with warmer days on the horizon. Valley Home Services offers whole home comfort with the changing of the seasons. With a push of a button on a Fujitsu heat pump, you're ready for whatever spring brings. Humid days or cool nights, come home to comfort with Valley Home Services. Home is our middle name.
You don't just go to work. You do the work. And it shows. You're committed to training and inspiring others. And you play as hard as you work. For that, you need a vehicle as strong as you are to get you where you want to go. Dedication. That's a Varney value, and one you'll find at Varney Buick GMC, Hogan Road, Bangor.
No one told us to get up and go. That's just our rhythm. And when the heart throws that rhythm off, Northern Light Eastern Maine Medical Center will get it back to a healthier beat through minimally invasive procedures for heart disease with no need for open chest surgery. So you can get back to your rhythm of life.
Tonight, as the Uvalde timeline unravels the new testimonies, plus the captured Americans who risked their lives to help in Ukraine, what happens to them now? More Americans turn to World News Tonight with David Muir, the most watched program on all of television.
Sign up for You Pick 'em Red Sox at foxbangor.com. Pick who you think is going to win and compete against other fans for prizes. Find half-off deals today and save money by going to foxbangor.com.
Welcome back, and finally tonight, if you're looking for something to do this weekend, Heart of Ellsworth will host a free mini art festival on 21 Water Street on Saturday. Heart of Ellsworth works to support the downtown area by preserving their historic structure while also adding modern touches through artwork. The event will showcase a local artist from the Down East area. The organization asks attendees participate in a brief online survey offering suggestions to the mural artist, Judy Taylor.
Anyone who's interested in seeing where this project goes and is interested in giving us their input about what they think should be on the wall should totally come to the event.
Wonderful local artwork. Everyone from Jessica Lee Ives, who has this beautiful paintings all about swimming here in Maine, Phil Barter, Phil Frey, and James Francis Sr., an awesome Native American artist. So all of their work is going to be animated.
The event will take place from 7 to 9 on Saturday night, and there will be food available for purchase. Sounds like a great way to cap off your Saturday evening there.
It's always interesting to see, what local artists are up to, see what their influences are, and then see their work around the community and how it impacts the community.
Yeah, and great, always great to just be making new additions with those local artists to our communities as well.
Absolutely. All right, folks, well, that is going to do it for us from everyone here at ABC 7 News. Take care and have a great rest of your night.
Good night, everyone.